Back again. Week 4, day 2. Got a deload next week, which will be quite helpful, I think. I don't feel terrible, but definitely don't feel at my best, which is to be expected. I keep trying to remind myself that, but it's hard. Not only when you have a countdown, something coming up like a meet, but also when you're used to a certain level of fitness. Basically all of last year, I was very consistent, very motivated to get stuff done, to be in the gym, to work, until, my daughter was born, obviously. But that was a solid 8 months of training, as hard and as frequently as possible. And then all that kind of just petered out. So I don't have that same level of, not only that same level of motivation, but I don't have the same level of fitness, which is kind of like a snake eating its own tail. I don't have the motivation, so I don't train as hard, so I don't build up the level of fitness that I need to then feel good, have the motivation, it's all, so we're all just working on instinct right now, trying to build up at least a little bit to get back to it. Today, we got pause deadlifts and then bench and then just a couple accessories. So a little bit of a lighter day. The way the program's written out, day 1 and day 3 are usually the harder days. And then 2 and 4, still difficult, but not as much intensity, not as much volume. So you've got kind of waves throughout the week. Pause deadlifts, deadlifts in general have just been the bane of my existence. So we'll see how things feel today. Whew. Hips feel really tight from squatting yesterday. The good news is squats bouncing back, benches bouncing back. I haven't been dealing with any of the tendonitis issues that I had towards the end of last year, which is very positive. So we got to take the small wins, and we're on track for training for the meet prep. This isn't really even prep. This is kind of just like rebuilding a baseline, and then prep will begin middle of March. Gonna do a 9-week program. I'm gonna do it without a coach, which is maybe ill-advised. As a coach, I know the power of coaching, but one, it doesn't feel like there's room in the budget for that expense right now. 2, I want to really see the power of some of these programs on Boost Camp. I've run them before, but never in a meet prep context, never fully peaking into a meet. So we're going to give the TSA 9-week intermediate a chance. It's probably my favorite program that I've run on Boost Camp. Consistent results, it programs very similar to the way that I would program things, so I think I just take to it very easily. So we're going to give that a go. All right, this will be the last warm-up probably, because it's only 160. Yeah, the top set's only 160, so it'll probably be the last warm-up. It's just a couple triples. It's been really difficult just finding any sort of groove or consistency with conventional deadlift, which is weird because this was the first deadlift I learned, obviously. And I deadlifted conventionally for way longer than sumo. Oh, I don't know. We'll go for it. I've just resigned myself to, never really feeling fresh ever again. If you train in a high fatigue environment, at what point does that just become the new normal and you just kind of got to get used to it? I'm a father. That's not going to change, right? She may get better at sleeping. She will. But the responsibilities of being a father don't change. And those are decently fatigue-inducing. So my mindset has kind of just been learn how to deal with it. Train within it, Okay. It's just ugly. Oh man, whatever. Got the reps. Probably only film one more set. All right, let's get this one done so we can go to bench. That's what deadlift has devolved into. Just something to get through. I don't know. You talk about coaching yourself. This is one of those times when maybe if I had a coach, there'd be a couple different things to try, technique-wise. But for my money, looking back at the videos, there doesn't really seem to be anything jarring. It's just kind of inability to do the movement properly. I felt decently better. All right, I'll talk to you for bench. We'll move on to bench. But before I move on, kind of just want to talk about my mindset being process over outcome, which is something that, you can say, it's so funny to look back on how I used to train when I didn't have any time restraints or many time restraints. I had a job, but that job allowed me to be in the gym all I wanted. Things change quite a bit. Obviously, when the responsibility gets ratcheted up, when you're responsible for another human being. So, I used to preach all the process over outcome stuff. But when you're really in it, when you're not seeing the outcome, and you just have to rely on the process, that's when it becomes really important. So with deadlift specifically, it's like the outcome is not there. It's been a long road dating back even before the long layoff, to where deadlift just wasn't working, adductor problems, switching stances, all that. And you just got to continue to come in, put in work, do the best of your ability, and trust that the outcome will come. And even if it doesn't, take solace in the fact that you're doing the process to the best of your ability, one day at a time. All these cliches are cliches for a reason. So that's where I'm at with deadlift. Moving to bench, we got a top set of 4 and then some back offs at 8. Bench, on the other hand, is feeling really good. So we'll see how the workouts go and all that. Let's do it. Pretty much bouncing off the chest. I don't even know what the top set is. I'm gonna have to look. But regardless, we're going to 100. This warm-up pattern has been working pretty well for me. As you know, I'm not a huge ton of warm-ups guy. You can tell I'm already sweating to death, so systemically I'm warm. It's just getting used to the movement again and then doing the work. I don't have time to be in here for 1,000 warm-ups. So it's upside to 125. So probably this will be the last warm-up, I think. I really like where bench is right now. Feels like there's just such a consistent structure across each set, across weight ranges, rep ranges, singles to all the way up to eights. I feel like it's so repeatable and comfortable. You know, a little bit of that is the fact that I have sandbagged my one rep max so much that we're never really passing like 70% of my actual one rep. But I think the value in that is building the habits that will carry over to when we do get back to heavier training. Those habits will hold firm and we'll reap the rewards there. Because I've been scratching at the door of 400, high threes for a while now. And I'd really love to get there this year. We got 600 squat last year. Getting a 400 bench this year would be very, very nice. And then I could finally retire. Just kidding. I don't know. I have been thinking about what my future in the gym looks like outside of powerlifting. And I don't quite know. So I'm leaving those thoughts for future me. 4 reps here. And then we got 8s. I have been cutting volume of this program. Not in half, maybe by like a fourth. So maybe it's only 6s. We'll see. Very nice. Second RP5. Feels like a warm-up. I'm collapsing. Energy-wise. God. These vlogs have just become a whining session. Apologies. It's just how I feel. All right, we go for 8. It's only 3 sets, so I think 8 is fine. Oh, my nail just broke off. Ow. That's pretty good. Take it. Vertical pull for this session is close grip pull downs. There's a decent number of back exercises on this program, which I like. Couldn't remember which side this first group went on. Oh my goodness. It doesn't feel good to be diminished mentally. Will it ever come back? So we got, what, 180 on there? It's pretty good. All right, let's see it for biceps. Bicep accessory is a preacher curl of some kind. I like to do the preacher curl machine. I think with every muscle group, but especially with biceps and triceps, getting a mixed approach between free weights, cables, machines exposes you to a ton of different strength curves. Preacher curl machine and a free weight preacher curl, obviously the same exercise, but the way that the machine moves weight in space is going to be different than the way that the free weight moves in space. Like it's weighted here, lighter and heavier at the top, which I just think allows you to come in contact with a ton of different rep ranges, a ton of different strength curves, and just cover all your bases. It's not a must do, but it's a good insurance policy. Oof. All right, that's gonna do it. Appreciate you guys watching. You know, like I said in the last vlog, we're still going through a little bit of a content lull. Still trying to find our way forward in 2025 with the videos that we're going to make on this channel and all that stuff. So if you're still rocking with me, if you have any suggestions about stuff that you want to see, I'd love to hear from you. Community, helping people get stronger. Those are the two things that I really want to continue to try and build on this channel, but it's become a lot harder in recent months. So, you know, I appreciate the support. I really do. It means a lot. And it's because of the audience that we've built why I don't just, you know, hang it up and say, all right, that was fun for a couple of years, but we're moving on. I don't think that's fair to you. It's not really fair to me either, you know. So we're going to keep pushing. Get strong and stay strong. I'll see you next time.